Hello everyone, it's Jazz, it's the West Ham Irons channel. Hope you are all good. This probably and will be, the last show of 2023. So definitely wanted to do it on New Year's Eve. I wanted to thank everyone who's been watching me this year. Thank you very much, it's much appreciated. And we've gone over 2,000 sub mark. We're heading towards 3,000 subs with all your best wishes and support. So I wanted to say thank you to you all. If you're new watching, welcome. If you do follow this channel, please subscribe, please share, and if you stick with me through 2024, you will hopefully be entertained, and you will hopefully find out why this channel is a little bit different from the rest, because there are a lot of channels out there. So hoping to be a little bit different, and to find out why we are different, speak to other subscribers or continuing following us, and then you'll find out why. I've been very, very ill last week or so with a bout of cold and virus, to such an effect that I was more or less bedridden for the past 2-3 days. I thought I had COVID, had a test, luckily it was negative. Today's kind of one of the first days where I'm out of bed. I feel much better. I think the worst is over. Looking forward to watching a couple of more games later on today and an hour game tomorrow. But this show I wanted to do, you can see the title of the show, Jazz West Ham Irons channel, has changed his mind. And the more you follow me, you know that I'm always, if I'm wrong, I'm the first one to say, hold his hands up and say, I was wrong, and I'm fine with that. Always like to speak my mind. If 9 people are saying left or yes, I like to do the other thing and explain why. So again, this show is about why Jazz, shortly after the Arsenal game, thought about a lot of things and came to the conclusion that I want David Moyes to stay as the West Ham United manager. That's my feeling at the moment. I'll be very, very happy if he signs the extension in the summer in June when offered. And that's my viewpoint as at today. And I will explain this in this video, the reasons why. And I hope you understand. And again, it's all about put your own comments in the comments box. And again, the fan base is largely 50-50 split. And I get that. But I just want, again, being the channel we are, we speak honestly. There's no politics with us. We just say it the way it is, and then we follow up and back up why we're saying that. And same for you guys. All views are respected on the channel within the comments. I'll reply to each comment when I get a chance, and I like to sort of see and understand. I largely do that anyway, really. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Why does Jazz suddenly now want David Moyes to stay? Those of you who obviously, I've been on channels for about 2-3 years, but when David Moyes first came in, I didn't have my own channel, but I used to be on all the mainstream channels, you name it, I was there, and I was the only one that wanted David Moyes in at that time. Again, I was going against the flow, because that's what, if I feel something, I'm going to back it up. I don't care what anyone else is feeling, right? And my feeling was out of Eddie Howe and David Moyes, he was the right one. We were in trouble at the wrong end of the table. There was a reasonable chance of us struggling and going down. I felt with David Moyes' strength of character, discipline, solid organisation, ability, skills, that he would be the right one, because that time, obviously after Bilic and Pellegrini, the defence was leaking goals like anything. The confidence was on the floor. The fitness of the teams was up in question. We couldn't run, we couldn't press, we couldn't do anything. Very slow, very lethargic team without the ball. Shocking. And David Moyes was the right answer. It was proved. We stayed up comfortably. He made the team stronger. He put Arnie up front. It kind of worked. And then, if you remember, we didn't give him the contract. And then, we brought Pellegrini in again. So the first instance, it was Bilic, and then Pellegrini came after him and did the same to both jobs. With Bilic, we were shipping in goals. With Pellegrini, shipping in goals. And both the same issues. Not really fit. Not really strong without the ball. No real strength, presence, stamina, nothing. And he came in and did it twice. And up till Arsenal game, I was still largely Moyes out. And the reasons for that was I felt that the quality of the football wasn't good. I felt that in all the windows he's been in, a reasonable percentage transfers should have gone a bit better when you look at the squad and the bench. It not been used a lot, but those players have come in under him. And then I felt that, yeah, we definitely need a striker in the club. He's been in charge for 9 windows, and by now we should have got a striker in by now. Really, it was about the history of the club, the good football, that kind of thing. But since the Arsenal game, I've really again thought really deep about it, and I've come to a lot of conclusions. And I hope you respect those. I hope you understand those, and I hope I come across in a good way that you understand why I've come to the conclusion that I now want David Moyes to stay, and more than happy for him to stay, really. So let's quickly crack on with the first point. Yeah, obviously not really a surprise. Under David Moyes, we are stable and there's continuity there, right? So easy words, non-sexy words, non-exciting words, but they mean a lot. They mean a lot when you're not either of those words. And you look at, in our recent history, 10, 15 years, a lot of those times, you remember, a couple of relegations, when we ran out of money under the Italian owners, the Icelandic owners in and out, all that kind of thing. We were unstable. Managers coming and going. 1 minute you got Bilic, 1 minute you got Sam, 1 minute you got Pellegrini, you got Moyes, in, out, shaky, all about. So when you are not stable and there's no long-term plan, you've seen what's happened at clubs at Man United, as an example, and even Chelsea, recently, right? And we can say that he's been here too long, he's too old, he's one of the longer-serving managers, it's time for a change. But I am now, thinking much more on mature terms and thinking that him being here 4 or 5 years, 8, 9, 10 transfer windows, I think that's a positive. I think it provides stability, continuity plan, and that can always be good, right? And that goes hand in hand with kind of this thing, really. It was interesting listening to Gary Neville's comments kind of yesterday. Gary and Phil Neville both, I think, on different platforms, mentioning about Man United after their latest poor result, that United don't really have a proper ambassador for the club, a proper sporting director, and that's what's needed, before you start buying players and trying to buy yourself out of trouble. You need to make sure the foundation is there for future stability, and I think we've got it. And the 4 most important people, Sullivan's been in charge, for a long period now compared to other owners. I don't want to go into whether we love him or hate him, whether he's done a bad job, not to great detail in this video, but the purpose is that Sullivan's been here a long time. Then you've got Noble, ambassador of the club, a go-between the manager and the owner. Knows all about the club, one club man, very special to have him. When you look around, so that's great. Now we've got a sporting director in Tim, who I think all you fans respect, you love him. He's young, he's full of energy, he's been largely behind bringing in your fan favourites, Kudos and Alvarez. You love him, right? Mavropanos, God bless him, done well in the Arsenal game, and I hope he continues, So that's 3 of them, and then you got Moyes, right? And if Moyes signs a new contract, that means Tim likes him, because I had a feeling it might not go that way, and it still might not, right? You never know what's around the corner. This January window will tell us a lot, whether they clash or not. In all the photos, they seem to understand each other, which I think is all good for us, right? So you look at those 4, that is solid owner in terms of experience, how long he's been there, it's stable, we know what you get with him. Noble, not many people got an ambassador like that. Right, he understands the fans, he understands the club, right? He can explain that to Tim. He's played under David Moyes, they get on. So look at that foundation there. And I think it's worth a go, right? Even if it's a 2-year extension, right? I think David Moyes, what he's achieved so far in terms of being nowhere near being relegated, right? Apart from last season in the league, but then we won a trophy, so that makes up for it. But if you look at the other 2 years in the league, we were 6th, 7th, just missed out on Champions League. We won a trophy last year. We're in Europa. Got a good FA Cup home draw against Bristol City. We're 6th. Look at the teams below us. I think there's Newcastle, there's Brighton, there's Chelsea, there's Man United. I think that's good. And with a bit more luck, yeah, and recently we've beaten Spurs, we've beaten Man United, we've beaten Arsenal. That's something you can't ignore, you can't look down on, even though you might have these personal issues in Moyes. I thought about the whole issue, and there's too much going for David Moyes staying in this club when you really, really look at yourself honestly in the mirror and think about it, right? There's too much going in his favour to just, like I used to sometimes say, I want him gone and I want, different type of attacking philosophy manager. We risk losing a lot, but you keep him. It's stable, it's safe, it's solid foundation. And he's not going to be manager forever. Maybe under him we can bring the next one in, which is always an amazing plan that we always wanted. Remember John Lyall? He came in under Ron Greenwood, and that we wanted Billy Bonds to come in under Lyall, and the board broke that stability we had with John Lyall. And you saw we never recovered from that for decades. We never recovered from that, and I think we're getting there now. We're getting the family club back together. We're getting that loyalty, reputation again amongst managers, that West Ham give managers time. We always did that. Up to John Lyall, we only had 4 or 5 managers. We had the least amount of managers since the club came into being. 1989, I think Lyall was our 4th or 5th manager. That's nuts. We're getting there. I know there's a lot of issues with Sullivan, blah, blah. I get it. But I'm looking forward, right? And I think that's a big positive thing, right? The other thing is, I might be making these things up, but I'm not. I'm telling you why not. But look at the players. You're telling me they beat Spurs, they beat Brighton, they beat Man United, they beat Arsenal if they didn't like the manager or they didn't want to play for him. We're just bystanders, right, in the middle. The real relationship between the manager and the player is there. It's there for you all to see. That you listen to Bowen's interviews. We get like upset saying, why did you not have possession of the ball as much as you should have? Why didn't you attack as much? And all the players are saying, we love the tactics. We believe in ourselves. We encourage the team to come onto us, break us through if you can, and we love it. And then when we've got the ball, we've got the confidence and speed, connectivity between the magic three that we call the amigos. Well, I do anyway with Paqueta, Kudos and Bowen. We can score. We don't need 32 tippy-tappy shots or passes like Arsenal. We need 3 shots, and we could have got 3 goals. That's not bad. And we've rarely not scored in a game. So you can't say it's just 0-0, 1-0 ball. It's not. We're scoring a lot of goals, right? And it's just a new way of football we have to understand. And this used to happen to us in the past, where we used to play tippy-tappy football and lose by an unlucky goal. Now we're getting the lucky goals. So we got the lucky manager now, right? And the players, you cannot knock that team spirit he's built. You cannot knock that stability he's built. The solid organisation, the foundation that club, that defence, that midfield forward got. They'll fight for you tomorrow amongst themselves. You can see that. You can see other clubs like Arsenal, their heads go down quite quickly. The crowd went left Highbury after 84 minutes, right? But these players, like the fans, you play in Europe 2-3 years in a row and you win a trophy together. That's something there, bonding. And you can see how much they respect the manager and they're scared of him, right? We won that Arsenal game. Moyes said they're singing, they won 2 days off in the dressing room. There's a real master and a student relationship there, like the old schools, right? And it's hard. And you can see David, they're scared of him. They respect him, right? So you can't build that overnight, right? So whether we like it or not, the players love him. They play for him. They're fine with it, right? And I'll come for obviously there is room for improvement, a lot of room for improvement, but there's much more going for this guy. Much more going for this guy, really. Before we'll go into that last bit, Moyes wants to stay. He's got jobs lined up at UEFA and other clubs. Don't worry about that, right? You know, his kind of reputation is right up there again. Don't worry about that. They know him all across Europe. You look at what other managers speak about him. That's another thing. There's a lot of respect there, right? Alan Pardew, who I love to bits, one of my favourite West Ham managers, was on TalkSport, and they said, "Oh, Alan Pardew, all the fans are giving Moyes stick." He goes, "Listen, mate." He goes, "I don't understand it," and he goes, "I'm going to tell you one thing." He goes to TalkSport. He goes, "Alan Pardew, he's a proper Premiership manager, and you're getting it from me, right?" So all the managers, you should see at the touchline, they respect him. I bet they call him up for advice. Arteta, he's a kid on the block, mate. New kid on the block, right? Don't worry about that. It's going to get tougher for him. Let's see how he handles it, right? Moyes, he's been there. He's grafted, right? A decade at Everton, top 5, top 6, top 7. We never beat Everton under Moyes, and we become West Ham now. People don't want to play us. We played Man United. Okay, that was the worst Man United team I'd ever seen. I've never seen Man United come and play West Ham and they put people behind the ball. They were scared of West Ham. I thought I'd never see that in my life, right? We're seeing things we never knew we were going to see. People are getting scared of us, right? That's why I came on that Tottenham show, and Chris Cowlin, big 110,000 sub channel, Chris Cowlin Spurs channel, right? Top boy. He goes, "We're shit scared of you because I can't believe you're being negative about your club." And I've thought about a lot of things, and I'm in a real good place at the moment. And yeah, I have not been going regularly enough, but I've changed the corner now. I've got my tickets for the Bristol City FA Cup game, and I'm going to be going more regularly now. And it happens in life. There's that moment, and it's happened to me. I'm going to be backing him, and whatever I said in the past is the past, but from now on, I want David Moyes to stay for all the reasons I mentioned. You know, there's stability there, there's safety there, there's respect there, there's a continuity plan there. There could be a plan to maybe bring the next young one under while David Moyes is here and move him upstairs in 2 years' time. Yeah, don't want to go into ownership, don't want to go into who's going to buy our shares, the Arabs, the Qataris. We do not know. That's a big black hole, right? Team spirit, respect, manager. You can't buy that with money. You've seen the Newcastle, what's happening with their players, all those dirty rumours going on around. I know we had that little thing with Paqueta, but that's a kind of a one-off. Hopefully that was a one-off, and largely under David Moyes, the squad stays pretty clean. Right, but this is another thing for David Moyes, why he wants to stay. He's not silly. I don't think he's one of those. I think he's old school. Of course he wants a job, continuing good money, but he wants something in return. He wants to challenge himself, and he'll be the first one, hopefully, when David Sullivan and Noble get him in, because Noble is like a fan like us. He'll few truths in that room, and there's room for improvement. But I think David Moyes has done the hard thing really, really well and easily, which is hopefully, so far looks like we are nowhere near bottom 10. Forget even relegation. Yeah, we are nowhere near being bottom 10 even this season, looking at the table. And we haven't been okay, we finished 14th last season, but not sure what happened there. Transfer window could have been a bit better. Tim wasn't there. Hopefully it'll be much better going forward. Under kind of Rob Newman, didn't really work out. One or two other things going on, right? Rice probably saying I want to go, mentally playing around with people's financial plans, that kind of thing, really. But yeah, room for improvement. Let's buy a striker. Let's kind of build a bench that he will use, because it's not healthy for a lot of players like Ben Rama, Cornet, Kehrer, just not being used. You can recycle that cash, and let's try to bring the youngsters on a bit more, right? Maybe that's why he has not been doing the subs. He'll probably admit it's my mistakes. I bought these players and I've realised they're not up to it. And being as strict and unique as David Moyes is, he doesn't want to bring them on. That's because of one of the reasons why he's not doing the subs. And when they do come on, to be fair, they're shit anyway, right? So let's get Ben Rama out the door, Agard out the door, Kehrer. Let's recycle the cash and build that squad and bench again, and we can give that first 11 a bit of a rest, really. So lots of room for improvement. We got a taste of Europe. We want Europe every year. We want to win more trophies. So there's so much more that he can do. Hopefully he can improve the training ground facilities and build a better coaching backroom team. I think there's room there to bring people in like Joe Cole, Martin Allen, ex-players, if you can. I think that's always good. And it just makes sense. And there's not that many managers' names out there that that appeal to you, isn't it? To come in, they're all at risk. And even if I talk about Michael Carrick, I talk about Alonso, a lot of risk there, isn't it? A lot of risk. At least with Moyes, he's been at 8, 9, 10 transfer windows, 4 or 5 years. He's stable. That's probably going to be his last main job, big job of his career. And that could be a nice transition period. Because don't forget, even Noble's still learning his job. And the good thing is, he's got a long relationship with David Moyes. And then all three of them, Moyes, Sullivan and Noble, they've got a long relationship between them in terms of years in football, right? I mean, in life, you have friends for 10, 15, 20 years. In football, if you're friends for 3, 4 years, that's a lot of time in football, right? A lot of time. I think that's something to hold on to and be quite lucky we've got that. And with Tim coming in with his, international relations, and hopefully he'll have more people under him. You know, he'll scouts everywhere because we need to build a scouting team. I think it's all there. I think it's all there, and it's all pointing me towards the most likely scenario is Moyes is going to get that 2 years plus 1 year option. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, I think. And again, it's all about my feelings at the moment. I'm hoping that I am kind of explained everything that I could have covered in kind of 20, 25 minutes, really. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. I've changed my mind, and for the reasons I explained: stability, continuity plan, away from very, very safe. The magic for the relationship, it's something to cherish and hold on to. The Sullivan, Noble, Tim, Moyes, the magic for the foundation that Man United are crying out for as an example. We've got it. We can't give it away. We've got it. We don't really have an urgent need to. I know there's things about Antonio that they're minor in the whole bigger scope of the club's future. Antonio will be gone sooner or later. Don't worry about that. And we will find that striker sooner or later. This will not carry on. I'm pretty certain about that. But the main thing is that the core group, the foundation of the club, I think is in good hands. And we'll get one of those more silky smooth players in, and we'll move on even more. And you've seen we're a match for the whole league. Even with the gaps in our team, we can see we're a match for anyone, right? So if we can't match them man to man with skill, we do it with our passion, with the team spirit, which again he's built. You can't buy that. It's very, 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 very hard. And people look at Tottenham, we're 3 points behind them. Villa very lucky to get that last minute penalty. We would have been 2 points behind them, I think. We're up with all of them, and I think, he'll know. He'll listen to where he needs to improve on, and I'm fairly confident he'll touch on those and check those boxes, I think, really. And he wants to stay. And I think deep down, I think Noble's all right with it. Sullivan, I think the board are all right with it. They built a relationship with him. And the key is that him and Tim work together in January. That's really important. That's where it could go up and down. But we'll see how that goes, really. But anyway, listen. Have a lovely, lovely, New Year's Eve celebrations. Thank you for your support over the whole year. Let's go even stronger in 2024. Jazz can put this nasty cold to the back and go back to his daily shows again. And let's hit the 3, 4, 5,000 subs mark, really. So again, God bless you all. Have a very, very good 2024, wealthy and healthy one. And David Moyes signed that contract, mate. I'm kind of happy with it, really. So we'll catch up tomorrow, and obviously it's when West Ham kind of play, I'll follow that straight after the full-time whistle, really. So God bless you. Take care. Have a great Christmas.